Bakshi. Please, sir, enlighten us with her words.
The Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a privilege for me to come to the hallowed halls of this premier University of India. Premier University of India, which is making waves on the global scale. I have been coming here for the past few years, and I'm so delighted to see the impact of leadership, the leadership of the Vice Chancellor upon this excellent institution, upon this institution of excellence. Every time I come here, I see an electrifying impulse in the air. And it is so very pleasing to see that we have an academic. He's taught for decades in our institutions of excellence in the IIT, which is a brand name, global brand name. He's taught there, and I see him bringing the same excellence to the quality of education and academic life in this very vibrant university. The armed forces and the JNU have a very deep and symbiotic relationship. Very few people know, and very few of my friends in the media know, that 5 military institutions of the highest repute are affiliated with the JNU. I start with the cradle of our leadership, that is the National Defense Academy. The affiliation started somewhere back in 1970. We were our junior batch was lucky enough to get this. We just missed it by 6 months. We were seniors, so we had to pass out earlier. So in 1970 it started, and from then till now, about 36,000 cadets of the National Defense Academy have earned their degrees from this hallowed institution. They are alumni of the JNU. People know about the NDA. How many of us know about the fact that the Army Cadet College at Dehradun is also affiliated to the JNU? How many of us know that the College of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, CEME Pune, is also affiliated with the JNU? The Military College of Telecommunication Engineering in Mao, the premier place where all communication engineering is done. One of the all information technology related to the armed forces cutting edge is affiliated to the JNU. The Naval Academy is affiliated to the JNU. And if you put all these people together, something like over 60,000 officers are the alumni of JNU. That is the level of bond. So, why should this institution not reflect the character of this very special bond with the armed forces of India, with the leadership of the armed forces of India? 3 of the NDA officers have got the Paramveer Chakra, 9 have got the Ashok Chakra, the highest gallantry awards in the land. And about 153 have got the Veer Chakra, 145 have got the Kirti Chakra, and so on and so forth. They're all alumni of this institution. When anybody from your school or college dies, it is customary that you shed a tear for him. You hold, Shok Sabha, as it is called, a meeting to mourn that poor boy, your friend, your colleague, and you possibly go to his parents and console them. We were quite shocked about 3-4 years back, before the present Vice Chancellor had come, that, there were some people being celebrated here who had attacked our parliament. And the pity is that those boys, just then, 2 of our boys from the Special Forces, 2 officers had died. They were both NDA alumni. So on one television program, when I was asked this, there was a lot of controversy going on at that time. And when I was asked, then people told me that these 2 boys have died. They are alumni of the JNU. Have any of the alumni of the JNU held a condolence meeting? Have they lighted a candle for them? Have they shed one tear for your own alumni, your own colleagues, your fellow students? And suddenly, when I had came out of that TV studio, I got a ring on my mobile, and there were some children from JNU. And they said, "We would like to do this. Would you care to come? We would like to do this. Would you care to join us?" I said, "Most certainly." So 8, 9 of us put on our medals, we put on our side caps, and we all came here. As we were coming in, we were told, "I hope you know what you are doing." I said, "Why? What am I doing?" So they said, it could lead to trouble. It could this, that, falana, nimkana. I said, "Look, when there were bullets and artillery shells bursting around, we never chickened out. I don't think we are starting to chicken out now." So we came here, and there was an excellent program. And then I said to myself, all that I hear in the media about this institution is hogwash. Look at the genuine feeling. Please see the house is how it's filled. That is the reality of this institution. And there is an American president who keeps talking of fake news. I'm afraid there is a lot of fake news hanging around here. The sayings and utterances of a handful of misguided people is ascribed to the entire university, and it is given a bad name. I said seeing is believing. And from then, we have made it a point that we will continue to come here. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear children, we are soldiers. I spent 41 years in uniform. I had my elder brother. He was a captain in the 11th Battalion Jammu and Kashmir Rifles. He was 23 years old when he was killed. His body was blasted by a Pakistani mine. It was blasted to shreds. And it came back. He was a tall, handsome, strapping man, young man, cricketer. And at 23, he was dead. All that we got was a copper urn with his ashes. When they had collected his body, they didn't feel like sending it back so that we would see how badly he had been shredded to bits. And I felt very bad that my brother's body has been desecrated. And we must take revenge. It's not right. So I joined the armed forces, and in 1971, our batch was to pass out in the month of December. We were told in October, "You guys are quite well trained now. I don't think you need to do any more training. There is a war about to start, and we need cannon fodder. Topon ko chare ka zarurat hai." So we were just as young men. 14th December we were to pass out. 14th of November we were given our commissions. They put on our pips, and we were sent to see our mama and papa and told, "Off you go." 10 days later, I was in the train. And as I was getting into the train, suddenly my mind flashed back to 1965. My brother was getting into the train. And for some reason, he stood in that doorway. He wanted to have a last look. Possibly he was aware, some inkling of the fate that was awaiting him. So he hung in that doorway till almost the train vanished, and we kept waving out to him. And I was thinking, normally he used to go back inside after a wave, but for some reason, he hung there. Now it was my turn to hang in the doorway and wave out to my mom and dad. I was 21. 23 was my elder brother when he was killed. I wasn't sure if I would come back alive. Ladies and gentlemen, my batch has been quite blessed. I have been in one battle after another. From 2000 to 2005, I spent 5 non-stop years in JNK when you are supposed to be turned around every 2 years and given a break. So the only break I got was, sir, you are doing very well, keep it up. Go back to JNK. My batch, we got into battle the very first night of our service. Some of my batchmates earned their pension before they got their first pay. They were killed fighting in action. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of pride. We may have lost a lot of friends. Some of my very good friends who were very good athletes, they have plastic legs, they have plastic arms. But if you ask them for help to climb these stairs, he will put his hand out like this. I don't need pity. I don't need help. I'm a soldier. And I will live and die like one. And those people, they may have died. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of pride. Pakistan had made our lives miserable then. 3 million Bengalis had been killed in Bangladesh. 1 million women had been raped. 10 million Bengali refugees had been pushed into India. And General Yahya Khan had made his problem India's problem. Go deal with it as you want, Maro. And we knew that our economy would collapse within a year if these people did not go back. And the only way to send them back was to fight. Despite this, our leadership, we went to every state capital. Please tell Pakistan to take them back. Madam Gandhi went to Richard Nixon, she went to Brezhnev, she went to Europe, she went to every possible major state requesting them to take them back. 8 months we held our hand. In the 9th month, the Pakistani Air Force hit us in the 6 air bases at Ambala. I'm telling you this story because we will show you this story. And in 13 magnificent days, our armed forces, 3 corps, 2 corps from Calcutta, 4 corps from Tripura, 33 corps from Siliguri. From 3 sides, they started closing in on Bangladesh capital Dhaka. And in 13 action-packed days, we had reached Dhaka. We had crossed rivers that were 5 kilometers wide, the Meghna, by helicopters. We had used paratroops to land our forces behind the enemy, and we had closed in on Dhaka, right? And in Dhaka, there was Lieutenant General Amir Akbar Abdullah Khan Niazi, Hilale Jurrat Setara Pakistan. And he had vowed to fight India for 1,000 years. He had said 1 Pakistani is equal to 10 Indians. All that hogwash was sorted out. 13 days and the Pakistan army had surrendered. 93,000 prisoners of war. 93,000 prisoners of war were captured. And we have seen them being pushed into the goods trains, in which माल गाड़ी में जिस तरह की बकरी ढोर डंगर को डाला जाता है, उस तरह we have seen them being filled up and being sent to prisoners of war camp, and their women started crying in Pakistan, हमारे आदमी वापस लाओ, हमारे मर्द वापस लाओ. We gave them all back. We sent them all back. But 56 of our prisoners have still not been returned. They were tortured till some of them went insane, and many of them died. How many of them are still left alive, and how many of them are raving lunatics still being tortured in some Pakistani cell? It's something that hurts. We let your 93,000 prisoners go when 300 of them had war crimes against them for raping women, for murdering children. We let them go. This is what you do when you can't fight on the battlefield. When you have to fight, we've seen what happens to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing. Many of you here are students of history. Others are students of politics, right? Geopolitics, international relations. Let me tell you that 1971 was a magnificent war. It was a just war. We fought for the side of justice, justice for the people of Bangladesh. And when we destroyed the Pakistani armies, we didn't make it a colony. We came out. Within a month, we left them. You are now free. You are now free. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you today. We would, as veterans, request your indulgence after this to have a look at a documentary that we have made on the Bangladesh war. Children of the JNU, students of international relations, history, you would love to see this because it tells you the Indian state at its best. One of our problems has been lack of cooperation, lack of coordination. When Chauhan was fighting Muhammad Ghori, there was Jaichand who cooperated with the enemy. When Porus was fighting Alexander, Ambhiraj had gone to him with tokras of fruits as if he was going for his daughter's wedding. And every time, where Mir Jafar, where is the end? We have been betrayed. But for once, when our state got its act together, for once when we synergized, for once when we coordinated and synchronized the actions of the state, the political department, the foreign ministry, the home ministry, the defense ministry, the intelligence agencies, the army, the navy, and the air force, you will see an example of what this nation state can achieve. In 13 days, we broke Pakistan in two. We do not want war. But if war is thrust on us, if this nation gets its act together, you will see what we are capable of. We'd like to show it to you because very often in all this talk of gloom and doom, we seem to forget what we are capable of as Indians. Half of NASA is Indians. Half of the Silicon Valley is Indians. All the top doctors in the United States are Indians. Individually, we are terrific people. The whole world recognizes that. Our problem has been the ability to gel. If you take a look at the Asian Games, the Commonwealth Games, who gets the boxing prize? Indians. Who gets the wrestling prize? Indians. Who gets the weightlifting prize? Indians. Who gets the riding prize? Indians. Who gets archery? Indians. Even karate we started winning. Right? Where do we lose? Team games. Ladies and gentlemen, we just can't get our act together. If there is one Indian going up, like crabs, the rest of us will pull him down. So the fact is, what I want to show you, why we want to show you this is the Indian nation state at its peak of power. Dismembering Pakistan in two because Pakistan asked for it. Because Pakistan asked for it, because it committed unbearable atrocities on its own people and tried to turn its own problem into an Indian problem. We were left with no option but to hit back. We took war as a last resort option. But when we got into it, we delivered like which left the world stunned. And no less a practitioner of realpolitik than Henry Kissinger said, in the ruthless pursuit of national interest, Madame Gandhi has no peers. She was an Indian leader. And this is what we were able to do. I am very certain we don't want war. What you saw today was a beautiful example of Indian culture. The dances, the aesthetics, the beauty, our libraries. But do you know that our libraries burned for 6 months in Nalanda? Because we could not protect ourselves. We could not defend ourselves. We were too busy fighting one another rather than the enemy. That has been our problem. It's excellent to have a culture which is 8,000 years old, but you should be able to protect it. And it is you who have to protect it. हमारा जो होना था सो हो लिया. हमारे सफेद बाल हैं, but we have great pride. When people pushed our country, we broke that country in two. I hope it doesn't come to that. But if our enemies push us needlessly, we will look to your generation to show them what Indians can do. Don't push us. Don't mess with us. You push us beyond a point. Last time you were broken in two. This time it could be four. Thank you. And the Americans say, don't tell us, show us. हमको बोलो मत, हमको दिखाओ. हम आपको दिखाएंगे right now. And last but not the least, as an old soldier, whenever I see so many young faces, I always remember my battalion, my unit. And when we used to go into action, I have been in action in Kargil, in Kishtwar, and in Rajouri and Punch. So whenever we used to go into action, we used to shout the unit war cry. जैसे शेर दहाड़ते हैं, हम अपना पलटन का नारा दहाड़ा करते थे ताकि पहाड़ से पत्थर गिरना शुरू हो जाए और दुश्मन का दिल दहल जाए. I would like to see how much josh the youngsters of JNU have got. Can you do it better than I can, an old man? Let's see. So I will shout the Indian war cry, and I'd like to see how much josh you youngsters have. Are you ready?
Yes.
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
Thank you. God bless you.